Join me in South Scotland, where I visit Galloway Forest Park with spectacular scenery, I explore an abandoned castle, and I visit Scotland's cutest book town known as Wigtown. Good morning everybody and welcome to another video. This weekend I'm back in Scotland and I'm in South Scotland, the region of Dumfries and Galloway, which I haven't done a video on before. Today I'm at this very nice town of Wigtown where they're doing a book festival for 10 days. I'm only going to be here for a few hours though, but this runs every autumn, and actually this area in the 80s and 90s was an area of high unemployment and people leaving the area for work to go elsewhere, and someone had the idea of this book festival, so it's ran every year since the late 1990s and it's now an important part of the economy here. There's lots of cafes, lots of bookshops, lots of pop-up kiosks selling food and drink as well, so there's lots of places to get something to eat. Tomorrow I'll be going hiking into the countryside, which will be new for me because I've not been hiking around here before. Today's not the weather for it, but tomorrow should be better. So I'm going to go and have lunch now and then I'm going to have a look around the town. So this field is for the overflow park, and there are quite a lot of parking spaces in the town, but obviously it's a small town and with a number of visitors that come to the festival, they use the fields as the overflow parking. Inside the county buildings you'll find a cafe and a small museum. The building dates back to the 19th century, and this cell was to hold prisoners who were attending the county court. The current Wigtown parish church was built in 1851 on the site of earlier churches. On display inside the present church is a 10th century cross shaft carved with Celtic style interlacing design. This stone was found in the ruins of the old church and dates to the period of Northumbrian control of the Christian church in Wigtownshire. Christian worship on this site goes back over 1,000 years. Some of the ruins you can still see were from a church that was rebuilt in the 1700s on the site of a much older church, which is where the 10th century cross shaft was found. In this graveyard you can also find the martyrs' graves. The Wigtown martyrs were two women who were executed in 1685 for refusing to acknowledge King James VII as head of the Scottish Church. 3 men were also executed later that year for their religious beliefs. These 5 people were known as Covenanters, as they supported the Scottish Presbyterian Church against attempts by the monarchy to impose an English-style Anglican form of worship. There is another monument dedicated to the martyrs on the outskirts of the town. So these are the things I bought at the festival today. This one I was really looking forward to getting because I went to the talk about this and I like history books, so that was the number one thing I wanted. And then I went through several bookshops. I bought a couple of books there and then an old mystery story from 1948. I quite fancied reading that. Then there were some stalls selling homemade things like these biscuits. And then I've got this Hughes smoked cheese and a macaroon bar. It's quite hard to find these in England, so whenever I'm back in Scotland, I always get a macaroon bar. Good morning, everybody. I've left Wigtown and I'm now in the countryside. This is Galloway Forest Park. This morning I'm doing a hike around Loch Trool. If you go around the loch, it's about 10 kilometres. You can do other trails from the visitor centre that will add a few kilometres onto that walk. There's about 3 car parks around the loch, so you can start at different places. Or you could do one of the big hikes up the big mountains here. But for today, I'm just doing the flat walk. It's a little bit up and down. It's not completely flat, but it does look okay. I'm just glad that the weather's better than yesterday. Yesterday was torrential rain. So just in front of me, just by the loch, is Bruce's stone, which was erected in 1929. It's to commemorate one of the battles that Robert the Bruce won in this area in 1307. It's also the starting point for a walk up Merrick Mountain, which I think is the one just behind me here. It's the biggest one in southern Scotland. Galloway Forest Park is the largest forest park in the UK, covering about 300 square miles. In 2009, it became the UK's first gold tier dark sky park. Because of its low population density and limited light pollution, it's one of the best places in the UK to stargaze. The landscape is a mixture of woodland, hills, lochs, glens and waterfalls. You may also see wild deer, wild goats and other wildlife. As well as hiking, the area is also popular for cycling and there are many mountain bike trails in this area. So today I've had sun and then I had showers, a rainbow very quickly, and now I've come to the other side and it's very, very still. So there's a lot of reflection. It reminds me of Buttermere in the Lake District. So I finished the hike around Loch Trool. That was really fantastic. I really recommend that. The scenery was fantastic. The autumn colours are starting to show now. It's end of September. I didn't notice that in the Lake District actually. I was there a couple of days ago. I didn't notice the autumn colours coming in there yet, but certainly around here you can see it quite a lot. So I've driven about half an hour, I think, to the other side of the forest. I'm near the town of New Galloway, and apparently in this section of the forest there's something really special that I've come to look for. Behind me are the ruins of Kenmure Castle. There's been a castle here since medieval times. After Mary Queen of Scots stayed here in the 1500s, her opponents came and set it on fire. And then during the Cromwell years, it was set on fire again. So what you see today was mainly built in the 17th century. In the middle of the 20th century, it was used as a hotel, and then it closed down. They removed the roof and everything out of it, and it's just been left since then. So apparently you can go inside, but it's at your own risk. I've seen reviews from other people who are saying it does look quite dangerous inside, so I probably won't be going inside, but I'll have a look round the outside. There's also meant to be a ghost of a bagpiper here, a headless bagpiper, in fact, where people have heard bagpipes coming from the cellars here during the night. So as you can see, the grass is very overgrown now, and I could just about make out the steps. So I'm not brave enough to go inside. There's signs saying danger everywhere, and I'm here on my own, so I'm not going to take the risk. If you're taller than me, you'll be able to see a bit more, because some of the windows are quite high up and you could stand from the outside and look in. So these ones are fine, obviously, but if I was taller, I'd be able to see in a bit more. You can still see where the stairs are, but I'm not sure if they would be secure to support somebody's weight going up. I wouldn't want to risk it anyway. I don't know anything about these old buildings. That's all from me in Scotland this weekend. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.